Alright, let's play a little game. Imagine you're a Canadian, you're a Rogers customer, and you're hopping the border down to the good old US of A. You pull out your phone, expecting to be connected. But whose network are you actually jumping onto? Are you roaming? Is there some secret handshake happening behind the scenes? Who's picking up the tab for those sweet data packets? That's the question we're diving into today. Who does Rogers partner with in the USA? It's a question that's surprisingly complex, and it's one that affects millions of Canadians every year. We're not just talking about a simple roaming agreement here. We're talking about the intricate web of partnerships that allows your Canadian phone to function seamlessly in another country. Think about it. We rely on our phones for everything: navigation, communication, entertainment. We expect them to work, no matter where we are. So, when you cross that border, it's not magic that keeps you connected. It's a meticulously crafted network of agreements and infrastructure sharing. And understanding who Rogers partners with is key to understanding how that all works. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's set the stage. Rogers, as you know, is one of Canada's major telecommunications companies. They've built a vast network across the country, providing cellular, internet, and cable services. But the United States? That's a whole different ballgame. The U.S. has its own giants, its own infrastructure, and its own regulatory landscape. For Rogers to provide reliable service in the U.S., they need to leverage the existing networks of these American giants. They can't just build their own towers and infrastructure overnight. That's where partnerships come in. Historically, and currently, Rogers has primarily partnered with AT&T in the United States. This partnership is the cornerstone of Rogers' roaming services for its customers in the U.S. AT&T, being one of the largest mobile network operators in the U.S., provides extensive coverage across the country. This allows Rogers customers to access reliable voice, data, and text services while roaming. But it's not just a simple matter of slapping a logo on a tower and calling it a day. These partnerships involve complex agreements regarding network access, data transfer, billing, and customer support. It's a delicate dance, ensuring that Rogers customers receive the same level of service they expect at home. Why AT&T? Well, several factors come into play. AT&T's vast network coverage is a major advantage. Their infrastructure is robust, and they have a significant presence in key areas frequented by Canadian travelers, such as major cities and border regions. Furthermore, AT&T has a history of working with international carriers to provide roaming services. This experience and expertise are invaluable to Rogers, ensuring a smooth and reliable experience for their customers. However, the telecommunications landscape is constantly evolving. New technologies, such as 5G, are reshaping the way we connect. And with this evolution comes changes in partnerships and agreements. While AT&T remains Rogers' primary partner in the U.S., it's important to understand that roaming agreements can be dynamic. Rogers, like other carriers, may have secondary or supplemental agreements with other U.S. providers to enhance coverage in specific areas or to address capacity issues. For instance, in areas where AT&T's coverage might be limited, Rogers might leverage agreements with other carriers to provide seamless connectivity. This ensures that customers have access to service even in remote or less populated regions. Another aspect to consider is the impact of technological advancements. 5G, with its higher speeds and lower latency, is transforming the mobile experience. Rogers, like other carriers, is investing heavily in 5G infrastructure and services. This means that partnerships with U.S. carriers are also evolving to support 5G roaming. Rogers needs to ensure that its customers can access 5G networks in the U.S., and this requires collaboration with carriers that have deployed 5G infrastructure. Furthermore, the rise of eSIM technology is changing the way we think about roaming. eSIMs, or embedded SIMs, allow users to switch between carriers without physically swapping SIM cards. This technology has the potential to simplify roaming and provide greater flexibility for travelers. Rogers, like other carriers, is embracing eSIM technology, and this is likely to impact its partnerships in the U.S. eSIMs can allow Rogers customers to access multiple U.S. carriers simultaneously, providing enhanced coverage and redundancy. Beyond just the basic roaming agreements, it's also important to consider the business and strategic implications of these partnerships. Rogers and AT&T, for example, may collaborate on other initiatives, such as joint marketing campaigns or technology development. These partnerships can also extend beyond cellular services. Rogers and AT&T may collaborate on other areas, such as Internet of Things, IoT, solutions, or enterprise services. Now, let's talk about the consumer side of things. How does this partnership actually affect you, the Rogers customer? First and foremost, it ensures that you have reliable connectivity while traveling in the U.S. You can make calls, send texts, and access data without worrying about dropped calls or slow speeds. Second, it simplifies the roaming experience. You don't have to worry about switching SIM cards or dealing with multiple carriers. Your Rogers phone just works, thanks to the behind-the-scenes partnerships. Third, it provides access to advanced features, such as 5G. As 5G becomes more prevalent in the U.S., Rogers customers will be able to take advantage of these faster speeds and lower latency. However, it's also important to be aware of roaming charges. While Rogers offers various roaming packages and plans, it's crucial to understand the costs associated with using your phone in the U.S. Roaming charges can vary depending on your plan, the amount of data you use, and the duration of your trip. It's essential to check with Rogers before traveling to understand the roaming rates and to choose a plan that meets your needs. Another aspect to consider is network congestion. In popular tourist destinations, network congestion can occur, even with robust infrastructure. This can lead to slower speeds and dropped calls. Rogers and its U.S. partners work to mitigate network congestion by adding capacity and optimizing network performance. However, during peak travel times, some congestion may still occur. In addition, it's worth mentioning the importance of staying updated with Rogers' roaming policies. Roaming agreements and policies can change, so it's essential to stay informed about any updates or changes. Rogers provides information about roaming on its website and through its customer support channels. It's always a good idea to check these resources before traveling to ensure you have the latest information. Now, let's recap. Rogers primarily partners with AT&T in the United States to provide roaming services for its customers. This partnership ensures reliable connectivity and access to advanced features, such as 5G. So, the next time you cross the border and your Rogers phone connects seamlessly, remember the complex web of partnerships that makes it all possible. It's not magic, it's a carefully orchestrated collaboration between Canadian and American telecommunications giants. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.